All right, let's make another video about intervals. I'm going to duplicate a chart that they give you in the textbook, and we'll talk about how an interval's quality changes as we modify its size, meaning the distance between the two notes, as we increase or decrease the distance between those two notes by a half step. Let's start with just major and minor. Well, let me get the right thing here. Here we go. So if you have major or minor intervals, let's take everybody's favorite major interval, the major third. I'm going to put a major third right here. How do I know that's a major third? Because if the top note is in the key of the bottom note, the interval is major or perfect. You can see the previous discussion on qualities and quantities to know which intervals can be major or perfect. So the top note in this case is an A, and the bottom note is F. Now we're using the major scale for this. F major scale, if you look here, F major scale is F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. See how important it is to know your scales and key signatures? So the F major scale has an A in it. And so therefore, this is a major third. If the top note's in the key of the bottom note, the interval is major or perfect. I want to draw actual circles around those. Again, look at the video on quantities and qualities to know which intervals can be major, minor, second, thirds, sixths, and sevenths, perfect intervals, unison, fourth, fifth octave. Okay, so back to our major minor conversation here. This is a major third. I know that because the top note, A, is in the key of the bottom note, F. That makes it major. And I know it's going to be major, not perfect, because it's a third. Now, if I take this interval, this major third, and I make it a half step smaller by lowering the top note, I am crossing this line. Actually, you know what? I want to do this just the opposite. It's all right. Hopefully you're writing with a pencil. We're going to put major on this side, minor on this side. Okay. So what was a major interval has become a half step smaller and is now a minor interval. Let's look at this. F to A is now F to A flat. So the interval has gotten a half step smaller. So a major interval made a half step smaller becomes minor. If I, again starting with the F and A major third, put that F, A major third. If I raise the bottom note, it also makes the interval a half step smaller. Looking at the keyboard, F to A is a major third, 2 whole steps. Well, F sharp is now a half step higher, is a minor third. All right, I made these major intervals a half step smaller. So if somebody says, hey, I need, let's go ahead and just dive right into one. I need an interval, a minor sixth above this given note? Well, first of all, quantities are easy. Quantity, you just count it. Just count. 1. Always start with the first note as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So again, when we're counting quantities, start with the first note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a sixth above G is some kind of E. We don't know what it is yet. I mean, some of us do. But in our steps, we haven't determined yet what it is, but we do know that it's a sixth. And it will always be, a sixth above G will always be some kind of E. Okay? So now let's ask ourselves, let's always start with the known and ask ourselves, what do we have now? What do I have right here? And we go back to that question. Well, what is the bottom note? What key is that? The key of G. And then is the top note in that key? And yeah, when I play through a G major scale, I got G, A, B, C, D, E. There is an E in a G major scale. So right now, we have a major sixth. Whoops. All right. That's a major sixth. We want a minor sixth, though. So, things that go across the line this way are smaller. Things that cross the line this way are larger. We right now have a major sixth and we want a minor sixth. So we're going to make this interval a half step smaller by putting a flat on the top note. I just created a minor sixth above G. You can never change the given note. If you're given a G, then you need to use the G. Don't change the G. Only alter the notes you're adding. Okay, so I think that's a good place to stop for now. We'll come back and look at other qualities and how they change with the changing the size by half step larger or smaller. All right, go back and watch it again if you got questions.